So right now we are at the point with the square body Chevy, the short bed. What a beautiful truck this is, man. So I want to get the truck bed put back on and also do all of the modifications that are required to make that happen and to make it look good. Let's get started.
And now, you're watching the slightly used Amazon mouthpiece for sale channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video. So with the square body Chevy, the first thing that I want to work towards and ultimately what we want to do is get the bed back on the truck. Now in the last video I talked about, I cut out an area for the notch and I said I didn't know what I was going to do with the wheel tubs quite yet, but what I do know is they're going to have to come out of there. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to address that. We're going to get the tubs ripped out, that notch is already there, and then it's just I want it to be standing up and have like all kinds of holes in it, just so that way I have all of the room. Then once it's on the truck, then we can start to build back up, raise the tubs, build out the notch, yada yada yada. I'm not going to explain it all, I'm just going to show you what's going to happen. There she is, baby. So now that we got the bed on the truck, I thought we were going to be in the clear to just air this thing out and let the wheels come up as high as we can possibly let them. But with the lower offset of these back wheels, and you gotta go with a lower offset in the back just so that way it looks good, those actually hit the inner side of the bed. So that needs to be trimmed out. It's no problem. I'm gonna trim it really quickly and then we'll air out the truck, then see where the tubs need to go, and then put the tubs back in the truck at the higher point. Alright, so at this point we got the truck turned around so that way, number one, I'm not shooting in the sun, having the shots like overexposed, and number two, standing in the sun kind of sucks. So if I'm working on the back of the truck, I like to turn it around and bring the back into the truck. And now, as you can see, the tubs are in here, the tubs are looking really good. So what I ended up doing is I put a 2x4 underneath right here and a 2x4 underneath over there. The reason why I like to do something like that is because it's something that can be easily replicated and matched on the other side, so that way we know they're in the exact same location. Also, measuring from a point to the tub on both sides, obviously that's pretty simple and self-explanatory, so it wasn't too crazy to put the tubs where they need to be. Now, the tubs actually used to shoot underneath, and there was this ugly ridge right here that I cut off because all of this area is going to have to be extended, and I'm going to want to do some kinds of cool designs. And the dog's walking in the room. What's up, Lola? You good? Come here. Come here. So now that we got the tubs sorted and where they're going to be, I want to start to build out the framework for where the new floor is going to be. It's easy in my mind to lay out a frame and make sure there's all 4 edges for sheet metal to go on. I can't just visualize how the sheet metal is going to be, but I can start working and start building a frame. So I want to do frame off this, frame off that, connect them, and you'll see. Let's build that frame. So I'm going to start with 1 inches over there, a 1 by 1. A 1 by 1, and then we're going to step it up to a 2 by 1. And the reason why I like to keep on that 1 is so that way everything sideways is the same, you know, because a 1 inch on its side, a 1 by 1 on its side is only 1 inches tall. A 2 by 1 on it, come on bro, are you listening? A 2 by 1 on its side is also 1 tall, so if I do a 1 by 1 frame, then a 2 by 1 across, that's a larger surface area. That's a larger surface area for that metal to land on, but it's still on a 1 inch plane, so that way everything's all welded together. At least the dog wants to listen to me talk about the projects. I got the girls over here, they don't want to talk about nothing. Except what's for dinner, every night, what's for dinner, what do you want to do for dinner, what do you want to do? Dude, I want to work on the truck, bro. Alright, so as you can see, we are making some pretty good headway with this. Now, one thing is, this channel, I kind of wanted it to be just the width of the C notch itself, or the step notch itself, but one thing that I did not think about is the link itself comes up pretty high. But either way, in the end, it doesn't matter because that front ramp edge and the back ramp edge is going to be the exact same ramp, meaning I'm going to have to make some panels. The front panel and the back panel are going to be the same, and the top is going to be, it's about 18 inches. I think it's going to look really nice, and we are also going to have that box back there that houses all of our components. So the next thing that I have to do, just kind of looking at it and thinking on the fly, what I still have to do, I got to make metal for the tubs to extend them, and I have to do metal for this arch here. So I think I'm going to do metal for my arch here. And one thing that I wanted to mention, so this was 4 feet 2 inches wide, and it would be really good because they sell these pieces in 4-foot sections, but 4 foot 2 inches, now we're talking about me having to do some crazy stuff. So to make up for that additional 2 inches, I ended up putting a border around it, which makes more sense anyway. So the 1 inch right here, the 1 inch right there, plus a 4-foot piece saved me a lot of money and a lot of time cutting, and it came out to be exactly 4 foot 2 inches. So it just goes to show you can work it in a way that's going to help you save time and money, and that's what we are going for. Now, with it being 4 foot 2 inches, that's a little tough because you can buy sheets of sheet metal at 4 feet by 8 feet. So it'd be nice if I could use that 4-foot run, but I'm not going to need a tremendous amount of metal. So I'm just going to have to cut something at the width of 4 feet 2 inches, and then that one cut should be enough for everything that I need. I think in the end, if the metal came up, it was bent over and then bent down, that would look the absolute cleanest. But I want to do some bead roller work because I always like doing that. So you can't put bent metal in a bead roller, or my sheets can't be too big for my small roller. So I'll figure it out. I think it's gonna have to be 3 pieces. We'll weld it together, grind it down, do a little bit of body work if we need to, and make this thing look good, man. Dude, no, how freaking good do those panels look? Just coming up with different designs and different patterns and doing things that are going to work together and look good is so much fun for me. Now it is time to fire up that HTP 220 Pro Pulse. And speaking of HTP, I heard they got some really good sales on the way the day after Thanksgiving, if you know what I'm saying. So let's get these panels welded in and keep this thing rolling. Now that we have that step all good and well and all figured out, we need to get into those side pieces. Now, one thing about side pieces, guys, you gotta be really careful. Those side pieces around there, wives don't like side pieces. Now that we got the back area pretty much all good, you can see how it is going to be. Obviously, I'm gonna have to come back and finish weld it all. I'm just kind of tacking it where it is now so that way we can get a good idea of what's gonna have to happen. Also, I'm gonna need to grind it down just a little bit, come back with an epoxy primer and then a filler, but enough talking, dude. I wanna pull this truck out because we have never seen it fully aired out with the bed on it, ever. And I know Lola is gonna bark like crazy. Chill out, man. Chill out. All right, get ready for the dog any second now. All right, how's she look? That's gotta be the thumbnail pic right there. I'm sure you already saw this. And dude, we're gonna be painting the wheels. It's gonna be all cleaned up. This truck hasn't been washed in a good month. I just want to, well, let's take a look at the back in its entirety now. Dude, so how good does this stuff look, man? It was really cool. I had never done anything like this before, but it was cool to kind of just mess around, build out that frame, put the panels where I wanted to put them, raise the tubs and put them in a spot that's going to make sense and going to work for this build. I know some people, they bring them all the way up to the top, but this is the exact wheels that we're going to be running, and I didn't see a need to bring it any higher than necessary, and I really like how it looks. Now, just really quickly, I wanted to touch on something, the slam box. I know I said in the last video I would talk about it in this video and we would have a winner selected. So all of the purchasing of the key tags closed out this past Friday. It is completely done. Now at this point I want to make sure that everybody has their key tag as well as their entry number before I officially do the drawing. I thought it'd be silly if I did the drawing when some people don't even know what number they are, and if somebody wins and they don't know their number, I mean, I'll say their name and I'll email them, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. I apologize if this is a little bit disorganized. This is the first one that I'm doing, so I'm kind of learning a little bit as I go, and I think and I hope that you can understand that. So anyways guys, my analytics and all that stuff on YouTube have been down a little bit, so if you can leave a comment down below and if you can like this video, I would appreciate that so much. It actually helps out a lot more than you realize. So down below, even if you just say something, say I think it looks good, say my uncle could do a better job, whatever you want to say, I appreciate it, because we need to get these analytics back up, to get the views back up, to keep me doing what I'm doing. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. I'm out.